Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, family, cats and dogs, we are bringing you the most important tier list to ever grace the Overwatch community. These panels need destroyed before anyone leaves the spawn room. Everyone knows that. Everyone does this. Don't pay attention to the basketball. Fuck those people. We are going to be ranking every character based on how quickly and or efficiently they can take out panels in the control spawn rooms for the ship specifically. So, we are going to go through every character's primary fire, secondary fire if they have it, and any relevant abilities. Starting off here, we got D.Va. We're going to give a test to the boosters. You cannot defense matrix the panels, so don't try it. We're going to test out the boosters. We're going to test out the micro missiles. Boosters are pretty solid. Micro missiles are pretty solid. Let's give the primary fire a little test. 4 shots. I think that was 3. I lost count. Overall, she seems efficient. Maybe not the fastest, but she has infinite ammo. Solid B tier for D.Va to start us out. Next up, we got Doomfist. Big Doom Daddy. I don't play a lot of Doomfist. I don't know how a lot of these abilities interact with the panels. Let's give it a test. You cannot block the panels. Don't try. Okay. Punch. This punch is strong enough to take down a skyscraper, but not a single panel on the wall. 1 shot for the small ones. 2 for the big ones. Let's test a little damage fall off. Okay. Now, one thing about Doom, you cannot clear that fast because of the way his primary recharges. Overall, probably on par with D.Va. Let's put him in B as well for now. Next up, we have got Hazard. For those unaware, this character came out after you quit playing. Some of his abilities, he throws a little wall, he's got a little leap, and he's also got a shield. Shield does not do anything. Let's give it a test. Shield does nothing to the panel. Try the wall. Wall insta breaks. 12-second cooldown. You might be able to get 2 of those off by the time the door opens. Let's give Slash a test. Gets 2. That may have been a skill issue. Let's give his gun a test on the small one. Might be a pellet count thing. Let's back up a little bit. Okay. 1 shot for those. We've got 8 in a mag. Single shot for the big panels. This is a clear A tier. Next up, we've got everyone's favorite gorilla. Let's go ahead and C barrier. I can't imagine does anything for the panels. I fat fingered. Let's give Leap a test while that's on cooldown. Gets all 3. And it's got a much faster cooldown. Let's give Dome another test. Nothing. Not shit. Tesla. Solid. Seeming worse so far. Let's give his right click a test. 1. 2 for big panels. 1 for smalls. Let's give it 1 more round.
A better world is possible today.
I think our Gorilla Boy is going in C tier. If you're trying to solo clear panels with no assistance from your team before the door opens, it might be... the window may be a little tight. Our peanut butter loving gorilla goes C tier for now. Next up, we have everyone's least favorite hamster. I don't play ball at all. I do not know what he does besides spin around point and make capturing the final 1% impossible. So we've got a grapple. Does this do damage? Undetermined. That's a shield. Okay, the swing can destroy panels. This may be a skill issue. For those that are good at ball, this might be S tier. I am not. So let's test this primary fire. I think that was 4 shots. Maybe a little more. 5, but he shoots 2 at a time, so it's 10. Seems pretty alright. For the people skilled at ball, possible S tier. I am not a baller. A tier for me. Next up, we have got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I have never queued this character. I have never picked him. I have never shot his weapons. I imagine this will be an easy S tier, but we will test and find out. First thing we should test is the stomp. Nothing. Great. Good start. These miniguns are going to shred, though. Maybe not. Let's give it one more test. So it seems that the tech for Dwayne is 1 minigun at a time. Unless you're close. That's a solid A tier from me. Next up, we have got the robot horse herself. Let's look at the abilities. We've got the javelin. We've got temporary health. Just want to verify this does nothing. Okay. And then we've got spin to win Beyblade. Let's see if that does anything. That insta destroys. Let's test a javelin on a big one. Insta destroys. We've even got some verticality on that. You know what? I've seen enough. A tier. Next up, Roadhog. When he's not hooking you into a well in the middle of Ilios, he is destroying panels. This character, tried and true. Maybe a little slow. Let's see, let's test the hook. The hook does work. Maybe sprinkle in some right clicks. You know what? He's terrible. He's just the worst. He is, I think, the worst so far. Is he with Winston? Let's give it one more test. I think he slightly edges out Winston. Let's do half with Roadhog, half with Winston. Gotta sprinkle in a melee. That's bad news. Alright, let's give a test on Winston.
A better world is possible today.
You know what? Even if I didn't miss that leap and got all 3 of those, I think they'd be close. I think he's in Winston tier. Alright, next we've got the quick play destroyer herself, Zarya. Now, bubbles are going to do nothing. But I have a feeling the beam, yeah. Okay. The beam left click by itself may put her in S tier. Let's give a run back for the right click.
We will crush them.
This is the panel clearer so far. She is far and away the best tank option yet. Easy S tier next. Next up, we have got Domina, Domina, another panel destroyer. Shield, I think, does nothing. Push, insta clears. Crystal. I feel like that should have got that panel. Let's test that again. It does not clear the large ones from the look of it. Just the range on that.
Light into being.
It does not clear the large ones. But, as you can see, beam characters, almost always an S tier. Let's give it a run back.
The perfect world is shaped by my hand.
I mean, that's easy S tier. Almost the same as Zarya, however, she does have the push, which insta-clears at least one set of small panels. So I think she edges out Zarya, but also S tier. Alright, next we have got Junker Queen. I have not played a lot of this character. That might have just missed. We've got a shotgun, fairly similar to Roadhog. Knife does not destroy those. Let's get knife a test on this. See how many knives it takes to break a small one. 2 knives. Test that. 2-shot shotgun for that. Let's give a slash a test. Very low range on the slash. Let's give it one more rerun.
My throne is where I say it is.
Yeah, this is when you gotta get a reload in to do panels. However, you can do it reasonably before the door opens. I think that puts her top of C tier. I don't think she's quite as good as Doomfist, so we will do top of C tier for now. Now, next up, we have got Ramattra, who has 2 forms. Have a decent feeling the melee form is going to be significantly worse than the ranged form. Let's give this a test. That is almost beam-like, with the added upside that it does not have a max range, I do not believe.
We will have peace at any cost.
Alright. So Ramattra, if you are looking for a single character to hard carry panels, you don't even have to move. This is your pick. And do not switch to melee form, because if you do, you are actively throwing your panel game. Easy S tier, I think top of S tier. Next up, we have got an interesting one. This is, I believe, our first full melee. He does have the strikes. Let's test the strikes. Okay. Let's get a little AoE on it. Does not hit the big one. That might have been off. Let's try a different angle with that. Does hit the big one. Let's test the charge. Bad. Okay.
Together then strike them down.
Okay, you can get these pretty reliably. Overall, I don't think you're going to solo carry the panels as Reinhardt. Is he above C tier is the question. Would I rather have a Reinhardt or a Junker Queen? Let's test Junker Queen again.
My throne is where I say it is.
I think Junker Queen kind of fills the same role, so he might be next to Junker Queen, but definitely above Winston. C tier for now. Next up, we have got Sigma, who I believe is our first real AoE option. I may need to test that. Besides some abilities, he just got the rockets. Zarya's got the right click. His primary is an AoE though. And it's got infinite ammo. So let's give everything a test. We should test a rock here. Double break. This is useless. See if the shield does anything.
The barrier.
Nope. Overall, let's give it one more run back. Run back from here. You kind of had to set up the range, but I think this is a solid A tier. Infinite ammo mixed with 2 AoE abilities for the panels. Easy A tier. Moving on to our damage roll. Now, a lot of these are probably going to finish B or higher, just based on primary fire alone, and then a lot of their abilities can really nuke the panels. Starting off, we've got Bastion. He too has 2 different forms. Let's test his grenade first. That bounces. If you land it, his grenade can clear 3 panels. It's probably going to be pretty tough to get it anywhere to these, I imagine. Alright, let's test his gun. 4 shots for a small panel. 8 shots for a big panel. Alright. Now let's see his true potential. So really he gets 2 grenades off by the time the door drops. And then what's the duration on this? You get 6 seconds. That's plenty to do cleanup. I think he's B tier. He's definitely above Junker Queen. He's B tier. Next up, we have Emre, or whatever this guy's name is. Emre? No idea. Don't care. We care about his panel killing potential. We have got a grenade. He zooms in, apparently. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 bursts for a panel. It's not looking good. 3 for a small one. Let's test this pistol. Single shot. And some AoE it looked like. Let's give that a run back.
I'll put it all on the line.
So almost every panel with just this pistol alone during the duration. What's the duration? So he can full clear panels in 6 seconds. They are somewhat skill shots, but I think if you lock in for the panels, this is minimum high A tier. Next up, and one of 2 characters that inspired this tier list to be made, is Junkrat. I play a decent bit of Junkrat, and every time it comes to panels, unless he's been buffed in ways I don't know about, this may be the worst. So his mind does clear those. Direct hits do absolutely nothing. And I don't even know how you would time this to destroy the big ones. I don't even know if you can direct hit these to where they fall down. Just an abomination. If you want panels gone, do not pick Junkrat. This is easy D tier. This is a throw pick. Next up, we've got Mei. So we've got 2 abilities. I don't think I've tested either of these against panels. We have a right click and then a left click that may be similar to a beam. It is not similar to a beam at all. Alright, let's test both of these abilities. Nothing. Nothing. Overall, panel game is weak. I think she probably finishes above Winston and below Reinhardt in C tier. Next up, we've got Soldier 76. Fairly straightforward kit. Let's see if we can sprint into these. Does nothing. Let's see if heal pad does anything. Does nothing. However, we have 2 important options. We got Rocket. Insta clears, 6-second cooldown. 6 bullets. Right there. Let's test a... Should have tested that on an undamaged one. Overall, he's not going to hard carry panels. He can get them done by himself before it drops, but not as fast as some of the S tiers. He doesn't clear as fast as Emre either. I think he's probably mid-A. Next up, we've got Symmetra, another beam character that has limited range, but it insta-destroys panels. This does take more effort than most of the other beam characters. Let's give her right click a test.
From imperfection, we build a new world.
Small ones take a little bit. Let's give it a full charge. Does that change the damage output? Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Let's give it a mix on this one. Let's do 1 full spam. Look, if you're going for panel destruction, don't even bother with the right click. Just left click them all. You'll get them all as fast as most of the other beam characters. I don't think you have to be as locked in as you do with Emre, but she's right there with him. Top of A tier.
New world.
Let the turrets target the panels. It's a simple buff. Every Symmetra player wants it. Kit is completely carried by the beam. With that said, it is in beam tier almost. Finished slightly behind Emre. Top of A. Next up, we've got Torbjörn. Let's give the turret a test. Does not target panels, which is unbelievable to me. Because before you leave this room, these are the only enemies you have. The turret targets enemies. It doesn't say it in the tooltip, it targets enemies. These are enemies, the turret should target it. That said, give this 1, 2, 3, 4 shots. Let's give the shotgun a test. Easy clears, easy clears. Let's give his hammer a test. You do have to get up close and personal. Let's give this a run back.
Tools in hand, brain in gear.
It is a 1 swing. And now the panel destroying buff. Every character should have access to something like this in the spawn room. This is easy A tier, finishes below Symmetra for sure, but easy A tier. And now on to Echo, who has her primary fire and 2 different abilities to destroy panels. So, primary fire, 2 shots for the big panels, 1 for the smalls. 2 shots for the mediums as well. Let's give these bombs a test. We're testing all of these first because I have a decent feeling that her last ability is going to rise her up to A tier. It is a beam.
Ready to learn.
Now that said, you can only get, you could probably get 6 with it. All the mediums. Maybe those and then some of these. Now she can clear very quickly.
Focusing fire.
You could definitely solo clear fairly quickly. Worse than the other beam characters for sure. She's probably close to Torbjörn, Hazard, and Orisa. Edges out Soldier, mid A tier for now. And now we've got Freya, who has an interesting kit. Let's test the dash first, or the launch, not the dash. I don't believe that did any damage. We're going to do 1 more to test. Doesn't seem like it. However, 4 darts for 1 panel. For a medium, let's test it on a large and then a small. 3 for a small. 5 for a large. However, her kit, she also gets an explosive arrow. So let's test this. Let's get the room full again to see just how quickly she can do this.
I always
1,
deliver.
2, 3. All things considered, I thought she would be better. There was some skill issue in that, but I think she hovers around A tier. Next up is Pharah, who I have not played in a long time. I didn't even know she had that ability. Let's see if her E can clear these. It can. Her primary can clear these. And that's every panel gone. That is insanely strong clear. Can she do it in 1 magazine? Let's see if we spawn right here. Let's give it a test. She 1 mag solos every panel without having to move. This is easy S tier. Maybe close to Emre, but she does it easier than Emre does. Emre has to lock in for 6 seconds. Pharah just has to shoot in the general direction. This is bottom of S tier behind 3 beam-ish characters. Now for the support characters' worst nightmare, we've got Sombra. Who I thought was going to be better. Fast-firing SMG, you would think, does more, but she just doesn't.
In my world,
It does nothing. Let's give this a bullet count. 15 for a large, It was either 8 or 9 for a small. 12 for a medium. And if you do the math on this, with the amount of panels that are in here, it might take her 3 reloads. I'm not doing the math. 3 reloads to clear all this. She's not Junkrat bad, but she is definitely not good. C tier for now, we may reevaluate. Next up, we've got Anran, Anran, Phoenix, or that fire bitch. Got 2 bursts on that. Right click takes 5. You might not want to right click. 1 burst for the smalls. I missed the shot. 3s for the mediums. Let's test a dash. Dash does a lot of the heavy lifting here. Overall might be solid. Let's get 1 full run in.
The fire in my heart will never burn out.
No, wasn't that bad. There's a few stragglers. That might have been a skill issue on my part. I think this is a solid B tier. Alright, next up we've got Genji. I have a good feeling that right clicks are what you're going to want to do here. It's just more efficient, you get more shots out faster. Let's give Dash a test. Dash does nothing. Let's test it up here. Now panels don't shoot, so I don't imagine deflect is going to do much. Dash may not do anything. Let's test it straight on. Nothing. Gotta say, this is worse than I thought it would be. 2 bursts for a full. 1 for a small. Let's test a medium. Let's get all 3. That 1. Need 2. So unless you're close, it only...
No holding back.
That's deflect. Dash. I think we need a panel rebalance. His dash should destroy at least mediums. I think that would put him in line. As he sits, maybe top of C tier. He's close to Junker Queen, so he's definitely C tier. Now we've got Reaper. Let's give this 1 shot for larges, 1 shot for smalls, 1 shot for mediums. I mean, this is just... It's 13 total panels, 1 reload, get you 16 total shots. If you can clear this, only missing 3. Realistically, you should clear it with only missing 0. I'm just bad and missed 1. This is easy A tier. Maybe below the tanks or above the tanks. I think he clears faster than Mauga. He's mid to low A tier. Now we have the poster child for Overwatch, Tracer, and unfortunately, I don't think they did her justice with her panel game. This is abysmal. Let's get a bullet check. It is 14 for a small. And a hell of a lot more for a large. You are gonna need to reload 40 times to clear everything. You might have to weave in some melees, which is just that's a bad look if you're trying to clear panels. This is easy C tier, maybe below Roadhog. She's definitely better than Sombra. This is C tier. Next up, we have got Vendetta, I think is her name. Vendetta. I have not played this character a single time. Let's look through her abilities. We've got a free clear on the mediums. We've got... Not a great ability for panels. Can she even reach these? I don't know if she can reach those.
Impenetrable.
So she has to throw that to reach these? Let's see if the sweeping dash gets it. I think her sword throw is the only way she can reach that, and she can't reach those. She's not going to be able to reach these. Let's see if the sweep gets it. Sweep gets it. So let's check. This is a 7-second cooldown. And you've got to do that for at least these two. The only way to get these, I think, maybe just that one. I think this one you might be able to get on the table. Let's give that a test.
I am the Empire.
Okay, so you can get this one from the table. Oh, you can reach that one. Okay. Overall, this is not good. This is a bad kit for panels. I think it is... You are going to be cutting it close if you want to destroy all these before you leave the spawn room. Let's give this a test. That does get that. You have to utilize your cooldowns fairly efficiently to clear the spawn room. And for panels before this door drops, I don't know if you're doing it solo. I think that puts her below Sombra. She only beats out Junkrat, and that's because Junkrat is the worst panel character we have had thus far. Bottom of C. Maybe top of D. Actually, you know what? It's my tier list. Top of D. Next up, we've got the Driller from Deep Rock Galactic. Let's see. She's got a dash. That does nothing to panels, apparently. Let's give that one more test. Let's try this.
Yeah! Oopsie daisy!
Dash one more go. Okay, so you just need to be closer. She does have an AoE attack. Seems to two-shot larges, one-shot smalls. 8 shots in a magazine. Let's give that one more full clear.
Let's make history!
Okay, so I think you got to get a reload in, because this is going to take 2, this is going to take 2. You can dash for one of those. That can take 1. Both of these are going to take 2. You have to get a reload in. Reload isn't the fastest. However, you can definitely solo clear these, unlike a lot of the other casts, and she has an AoE for a primary. So I think minimum that puts her B tier, probably bottom of B tier. We might need to compare her with Anran near the end. Anran, Phoenix, Fire Bitch, whatever her name is. We'll put her in B tier for now. And now we've got Ashe. So let's give these a test. Let's hit a shift right there. That did less than I thought it would. We'll give that a test on the next go around. Let's test the dynamite. Skill issue. That did get 2. I think if we hit it sooner, that would have cleared all 3. We'll test that. We also need to test the damage on this. We got a lot more to test. Let's run it back.
I'm the last one you'll ever
Unscoped. The big ones take 3. Scoped. They take 2. Unscoped. Small ones take 2. Scoped. They take 1. And then mediums. They take 2. Scoped. They take 2. So tech, you don't want to be aim down sight for the mediums. You can clear these fast, although it might not matter. If you dynamite, you can dynamite one side out, and then clear up the rest fairly easily. It's going to be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's definitely going to take 2 mags unless your dynamite's back. You might be able to full clear these. Nope. AoE's barely not wide enough. Overall, solid pick. I think she's also bottom of B tier. Next up, we have got Cassidy, who I believe sucks for panels. Let's give everything a test. Flashbang does nothing. Need 2 shots for each one of these. Need 3 for the larges. Unfortunately, you get a free reroll with his roll. Let's test the flashbang on that. I think if you're looking to be efficient, pick someone else. I don't think you get enough squeeze out of the juice with Cassidy. Now you can fan the hammer, but that's just, who are we kidding, right? Pick someone else. This character is bad at panels, maybe above Tracer. That's not saying much. Bottom of C tier. Next up, we've got the brother of the Cyber Ninja, Hanzo. 3 shots for that. Let's test it if we spam. Still 3. Got 2 for a small. 2 for a medium. Okay. Let's test this. Same amount of arrows, but you do shoot faster. Should test this.
You can't hide.
Still counts as an arrow. So no matter what, you have to hit these with the same amount of arrows. So your E is going to help you clear slightly faster. I think he's more efficient than a lot of C tier, possibly all of C tier. He doesn't have an AoE option, so I can't put him above Venture. But he does edge out Junker Queen, simply because he has infinite ammo. He doesn't need a reload. He's even got a movement option, so you can get to other panels quicker, although you wouldn't need to because he's a sharpshooter. So I think bottom of B tier is where Hanzo's going. Next up, we've got Soldier 77. I'm going to test the slide, see if that does anything. It doesn't.
Area denial.
Test the E. The E did not break this panel, which is interesting. We're going to test that up there. Now, unfortunately, as said previously with Symmetra and Torbjörn, these panels don't count as enemies, so you're not building up railgun.
Not so fast.
And I think the E is bait. I don't know if the E is full clearing anything. Let's give this one more test. Let's try to put it in a better spot for the mediums.
We're in this together.
Let's get it right on that bar.
All of us.
It's only clearing 2. We'll try to put it in the dead center of this to see if it hits all 3. Now she does have the slide option to get to the other panels fast. Alright, let's try this.
Dodge this.
It does get all 3, which helps. So let's get a bullet count.
We're
She
in
definitely
this
clears
together.
C tier. She has no.
All
She
of
does.
us.
She has one AOE option, but I think it's gonna be a one-time.
Disrupting.
'Cause by the time it's back off cooldown, the other panels are gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 7, I think. Don't comment that. Wait, so it's 5 for the mediums, 4 for the smalls, 6 for the larges. Overall, she's alright. I don't think she beats out Bastion or Doomfist or D.Va. I think she clears Ashe, so middle of B tier. And lastly, for the damage characters, we have Widowmaker, who has some interesting options for the panels. So, one, We have her unscoped. 4 bullets for the smalls. 6 for the mediums. 8 for the larges. Full scoped. 1 shot. 2 shot. We might not need a full charge. We'll test that. 2 shot. Alright, let's do 1 full, 1 half. Let's do 1 full, 1/3. That was a half again. I can't time. Okay, so spamming uncharged looks like the same as not charging. Her mine does nothing to panels. However, her grapple
I aim to devastate.
acts as an execute. So if you're struggling with a large panel, you just grapple to it, it's gone. Now I think the way you want to clear panels on Widow, you don't want to be ADSing too much. Unless maybe you missed one of the small ones. Do a little peek out, take out. Grapple to another missed one. It's a skill intensive panel clear overall. I think she's weaker than most of the B tier cast. Maybe edges out Hanzo, so bottom of B tier. And now on to the supports. And we start with Ana, who, like Junkrat, inspired this video. Let's start with a small. 1, 2, 3, 4 shots for a small. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for a medium. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for a large. And she has 15 in a magazine. Now, if you do the math, there are 4 large panels. That's 2 reloads by itself. On top of all of these, you're going to spend more time reloading than you are shooting panels, which is just the worst thing I've ever heard. Now, she does have some other options. Sleep Dart basically acts as a shot on a 15-second cooldown. Grenade is the best part of her kit, but at most you're clearing 3 with it. I think if you want to clear panels before you exit this spawn room, pick anyone else as long as they're not named Junkrat. This is the easiest D tier we've probably had. I think she finishes above Junkrat, below Vendetta. And now we've got Baptiste, who I don't believe has any abilities that affect panels. Let's test the heal. I don't believe it does anything. Let's test the gun. 5 bursts for a large panel. Let's test the medium. 4 for a medium. Let's test a small. 3 for a small. Okay. So the math is looking similar to as bad as Ana is. Except you have no AoE option for the mediums. So I can't believe this. But he is worse than Ana. He's terrible. Don't pick him, don't pick Ana, don't pick Junkrat. D tier. And now we've got Jetpack Cat, who I have not played, so I do not know his abilities. We have a dash, kind of. It's got fuel. We've got the ally carry, which I don't think does anything for panels. And then we've got pulse area heal that increases frequency. It knocks back enemies, so it may destroy panels. It does destroy panels. At least the smalls. 4 for that. 8 for the larges, probably 6 for the mediums. Okay. Let's test this for the mediums. That's pretty strong. It's only on activation though. Now overall, he looks similar to Ana and Bap. So I think he is weak. He's probably D tier, but I think he's top of D tier because he can elevate some of the slower cast. So D tier. Next up, Lucio. We got the boop. It's a free 2. Might be able to get 3 in that. Let's aim it more center. Let's switch to that. Can get 3. Takes 4 for a large. With no fall off? No fall off. This is far and away the best healer we've had. And he can speed boost, so he gets a lot of the bonus that Jetpack Cat can give, but he gives it to the whole team instead of one. And he can clear panels effectively by himself. I think this is easy B tier. I think he's above Bastion. Below Doomfist. Near the top of B tier. And now we've got Zenyatta, who unfortunately cannot Discord orb the panels. Don't know why, they're clearly enemies. Let's do a charge. Let's see if we can. Alright, let's test let's get a shot count. Let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2 for those. Overall, he's kind of middle of the pack. He doesn't really do anything. Maybe you can do something with the full charge. I think the full charge takes more. 1, 2, 3. It took all 4. So if you're playing Zen, don't use your charge shots. Use your left clicks, and then just don't miss. It's a nice little aim trainer. Get you ready for the match. Overall, nothing to write home about. I think he's worse than Widow. Comparable to Hanzo, we'll put him bottom of B tier. And now we've got Blizzard's favorite character for some reason. Kiriko. Let's give a test to the heals. They don't do anything. They might have done something because that one broke very quickly. They do. Takes a full 10 to take out a small though. Takes 2. 4. 3. Okay. Teleport. Throw a protective charm. Let's test the charm. That does an AoE, so you can clear a full medium out with that. Overall, not impressed with the capabilities. You do get an AoE, you might only get 1 off before the door opens. You only get 15 bullets. She does clear decently fast. But I think she's worse than Zenyatta. Might edge out Junker Queen. I'm going to put her top of C tier. Now we've got Life Weaver. I've never played this character. I don't know what he does. That looks like a heal. Now hold up. This is... He's got potential. What are his abilities? We got a platform. You might need to redo that. His E pulls an ally, so that's not going to do anything in here. His space is a dash. Oh, I am noticing he is 3-shotting these with 100 in the mag. Let's give one more test to his platform and see how fast he can clear with his right click. His platform, still like right there.
You truly are.
And I think this raises somehow. There it is. It does not break. However, his right click just carries the entire kit. He needs nothing else. This is almost beam character level. However, it's slightly below. I think this goes top of A, right above Emre and Symmetra, top of A tier. Now, contrary to popular belief, Mercy does have a gun. You don't have to just heal beam the whole time. You've got this. This is a handy tool. It does damage to enemies. So let's test this. That's a 4 for a large. That's a 2 for a small. And 3 for a medium. Overall, feels very Zenyatta-like. In fact, they have the same mag count. And I don't know the RPMs off the top of my head, but this gun feels like it shoots faster. And you don't have charge shot bait. I think she finishes right above Zenyatta. Or at the very least, if the RPMs are the same, she is tied with Zenyatta. Bottom of B tier. Alright, now we've got Moira. Contrary to popular belief, she can actually heal teammates. This heals. And then she's also got this. There's an option for left click. You can throw that. If it's near teammates, it'll heal them. However, that does not help for panels. So let's see what we're working with on the panel front. We've got infinite ammo. We've got a little dodge we can use. Let's test an orb. It doesn't lock on because the game doesn't realize panels are enemies. Overall, A, you don't have to reload. B, she's got a movement ability. Quickly go from one half to the other. I think that alone edges out Hanzo. And possibly also Widowmaker. I think she finishes right below Venture and right above Widowmaker. That's middle of B tier. Next up, we've got Brigitte. Brigitte. However you pronounce it. Let's test a shift. That does nothing. Or maybe I missed. That also might be a 2-shot thing. Let's test up here. It is a 2-shot thing. We've got melee, however it does reach the top panels. We'll give that a shield bash test. And it one-shots big panels. A little shield bash, does nothing. That sets that up for a one-shot. Overall, she one-shots every panel. She doesn't have to reload, but she does have to be close to it. However, you can shield bash. You can probably get 2 or 3 off to full clear. I think her shift is bait. Overall, I think she finishes right above Moira. Maybe above Venture. Well, we might have to give that a test. But I'm gonna put her right above Venture for now. Middle of B tier. And now we've got Alari, who I believe this is not gonna do anything. This should full clear. Let's give this a spam, see if that does anything. Can spam shoot. Overall, 2 shots for the larges. I think it's 2 shots for all of them.
I carry my burdens alone.
1 shot for the smalls, 2 shots for the mediums and the larges. Doesn't matter if you're charged, and you get a free wipe on one of the medium sets, or possibly even one of these. Overall, this character, just going by feel, it feels A tier. I think effort-wise, you put in less to do more as Alari than Freya. I think Echo, you've got to be more locked in to do more. I think she finishes right above Echo, mid to top A tier. And we've got Juno, who for some reason cannot lock onto the panels. We do have a large magazine. We've got 180 in the magazine. She's very point and click. Don't gotta think much. Get speed boost. Get this in. Unfortunately, her right click doesn't do anything for panels. However, I don't think she needs it. I think she finishes right above Lucio, simply because the magazine is enough to take down every panel without reloading. Lucio has to reload because he's limited to 20. She might edge out Doomfist and D.Va as well. I think she's bottom of A tier. Next up, we have got Mizuki, aka Healing Raiden, aka Kung Lao. So, I've only played this character once. I don't remember what he does. Let's see. That does nothing, it looks like. Maybe because it was a large, it didn't do anything. Our right click, I believe, needs a friendly to target.
And I'm out.
Our shift can teleport us. That's 2. That's 3. So it looks like if the E does do damage, it does not do enough to count for a hit. Now this is poor. How many did that take? Let's 1, 2, 3, 4. It did not take that many. Maybe it was bouncing off of something else up there? I'm not sure. This is just the worst experience you could possibly have with panels. I think he's worse than Bap. I think he might be worse than Junkrat. Why is this not destroying it? Let's give this a rerun.
I'll decide my own fate.
So 3. It's got a weird hitbox to the middle panel. Overall, I'm not seeing the vision. Maybe any Mizuki panel professionals, give me some tips, because I'm not seeing it. I think this is the worst panel clear so far, and we only have one character left. This is the worst, far and away. I would rather play Junkrat and just tell my teammates to break them than ever play this character to destroy panels again. This is D tier. I might make a new tier below D for this guy. And finally, we've got Wu Yang, who I have also not played. So let's see how we go. Got a wave, insta clears a middle panel. That I don't think you can get more than that. We'll give that a test. Got a dash that takes those out. It looks like we got a higher jump on that as well. Let's give this a test. So that actually reaches high enough. One shot's larges. And that looks like an AoE attack. This might be the best healer we've had. Let's test the AoE on the mid. That takes all of them out. Let's give that a test. That a test. He clears panels. This is... What's the ammo consumption on this? 2 shots. Overall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the best healer for panels. He is basically a healer version of Pharah for panels. And I don't think it's close. He also has an AoE option, so you don't even have to aim at one of these. You can just slam that down, worry about 6. This is easy S tier. He might be better than Pharah. I'm going to put him above Pharah, 1 spot. S tier, easy. And that does it for the panel tier list. That is the definitive tier list. There are a couple characters that I may need to do more testing on, or if someone else has more experience, let me know what I'm missing. Specifically, Mizuki. Anyone who plays Mizuki and knows the panel tech, contact me. Because as it sits, this is the worst. If you're curious about the tier list, I'm going to throw it on screen. Notably, we've got Ramattra, Domina, Zarya, Pharah, and Wuyong all in S tier. And then D tier, we've got Jetpack Cat, Vendetta, Ana, Baptiste, Junkrat, and the worst panel character, Mizuki. I don't get it. This is... It's comically bad. I don't know how this made it out of testing. Anyways, that is the tier list of tier lists. There will never be a better tier list than this to ever grace Overwatch again.